What's up, Ruben, Elliot? One of y'all put a little thumbs up emoji or something in the chat. Let me know you can hear me. Ruben, appreciate that on Canisius. That was actually my top play yesterday, so you guys are welcome. So Garrett, Elliott. John Brady, Christian. What's up, guys? All y'all know the rules. You want a free play? Let's get to or a premium free play. Let's get to 50 likes. I'll tell you what I'll do. I've got 3 top plays today. 3. You want a top play? Get me 100 likes. Give it out for free. Dana, Alex, what's going on? This fucking game's a crapshoot. Oh, there's one of my favorite movies of all time. Oh my God. Hell yeah, Elliot. Awesome. That's good news. What are they saying as far as like treatment plans and stuff? Are they do they have like a time expectancy of like how long she'll have to go, or are they just kind of playing it by ear? Or yeah, Ruben, they did well the second half. I was impressed with what they came back with the second half. I mean, it didn't do very much for them, but I was happy to see them get it just in single digits, that late in the game. I'm telling you right now, the talent's on the team. They're young, they're inexperienced. They don't have a true point guard now that Cole's out. And that's a big thing. I mean, you don't have somebody that can truly run point and set plays up for you. I mean, it's very, very difficult to be successful, especially when you've got somebody now having to run point that just doesn't know how. Now he's got 2 jobs to do. He's focused on the one he's never done and not focused on the one he was meant to do. Come on. Let's see what we've got for free action today. We've got a big slate of NHL today. 5 NHL plays with a top play. What's going on, Danny? Yeah, I didn't play Caps. I will know something this evening, Jerry. I'm just waiting on, because I got a buddy of mine that may be coming with me. And we're just trying to nail down his schedule to see. Top play on Canisius 1, Yale 1, Pitt 1 but lost in regulation. Carolina lost. And I have to go back and look. I've got so much of today's crap in my head. And there's just so much action today, it's ridiculous. That's the only downfall to college basketball season is on Saturdays. It's so much. I mean, it is just ridiculous. I mean, there's 3 pages of games that I haven't even gotten to yet. What's up, Keith? Keith, keep your phone on you. I got to call you in a few minutes. Jerry, what date are you leaving for the March Madness stuff? I know you said you're going to be there for like the first and second round or something like that, but what's the date you're actually leaving? What time is it? Okay, let's see. Had a couple of premium plays start. Let's see what we got. I can't turn this movie off, though. This is my movie. Okay, all right. don't care about UFC Countdown. There we go. Rookie of the Year. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. I don't know why I'm sitting watching. I've got DVD, Blu-ray, VHS copies of it. But it never gets old. The Tar Heels are going to be layoff material until Anthony comes back. So if and when Anthony comes back, we'll see how he does for a couple of games. See how the team starts doing once they have a true point guard back that can start running plays. And then we'll see. We will see. I think that it might be a good idea to take North Carolina against Duke at home, depending on what the line's going to be. I mean, because right now, the way things are going, you might see Duke as 15-point favorites. And I'm sorry. You're never going to see me lay 15 with a team in that rivalry. Yeah, we've got a premium play on Florida. Got a premium play on Florida going on right now. Got a premium play on NC State -6.5. Top play in the Buffalo Central Michigan game. We've got some good action going on now. Do I think they will make a run? I doubt it. But I mean, it's not to say much. I can remember back to 2004. They started out 1-2 or 0-2 or something, then lost like 4 or 5 straight games in the ACC. It was a bad year. Then they got just back above 500 at the end of the year, and then ended up making the tournament, and they won the national championship that year, or that season. So I guess anything's possible, but I don't see it this year. Oscar, appreciate it. That was actually my top play yesterday. So you guys are welcome. Didn't play any of the early action. None of the early action. My first game started at 1:30, which that's one of my premium plays. Florida. We've got a few good games going on now. We've got games going at 4 o'clock. We've got some starts. 4:30. I may add another 4 o'clock game to that. We've got NHL starting at 3 o'clock. We got games going at 7 o'clock tonight. telling you, man. God, I don't see how in the world people were not on Florida today. This is such an easy spot for them. And Auburn has no answers for them. They can't defend them. Just wait till the crowd gets in. There you go. Another steal by Florida. Oh, Bruce Pearl's getting in it now. Nothing yet for NBA today. The games that I'm looking at, I've got 1, 2, 3 games that I'm looking at. I think I'll end up locking in at least one of these. Hold on. I've actually got notes on that game, Danny. Give me a second. There's just so much crap being played today. It's hard to keep everything in line. Where did my... San Diego State go? No, that's San Diego. Where's San Diego State? I know I went over that game earlier because they're the last of the unbeatens, I think. Well, yeah, they found some luck. Atlanta sucks. I got to go see the Hawks here soon, though, because I got to go see Mr. Vince Carter before he retires. I saw him play so many times when he was with North Carolina and even when he was with Toronto. So I got to go watch him one last time. Where in the hell did my San Diego State notes go? I know I typed them, so let me just pull up my sheet here. La 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 la. It actually rates pretty high in my system, Danny. As far as just overall stat for stat. But give me a second, because I did the line on it too. Because the line was just a hair bit off, but not by an extreme amount. And I'll let you take what you will from this. So much crap in here. There we go. Current actual line is -13. I had it at -12. So But San Diego State has the edge in almost every single category except for offensive 3-point shooting. They're 1% less than Nevada, which won't mean a lot. I don't think that that's enough to outweigh everything else. 13's a little high because Nevada still has talent, and when they clamp down defensively, they can be a thorn in someone's side. Truth be told, I mean, I've got the line at 12. The line's at 13. I'm probably going to throw some money on San Diego State just for the hell of it because it actually meets the criteria. The line's accurate, though. There's no value in the line. So I won't be playing it as a premium. It'll probably, I'll probably throw 500 minus 13. I'm going to wait a little while, see if it comes down because I don't see it going up. There's actually not a lot of action on this game. All right, Florida, you better not get comfortable. That's 3 times in a row you didn't even try to go for an offensive rebound. That's how Auburn will beat you right there. Another 3. This crowd's getting ready to get into it in the second half. Turnover, Auburn. They're shook right now. God, I wish it wasn't about to be halftime. Because Bruce Pearl's getting ready to have a coronary. The Auburn players are shook. The crowd's getting into it. This is the worst time for it to go into halftime. Play smart with it. He didn't. You don't call it travel when he got pushed? Whatever. I tell you, I think the smart play there would almost be a money line play on Detroit because I can get the money line right now at minus 125. Detroit on the road catching Atlanta on a back-to-back. I like that. Furman's gas, man. Furman's played tough. And they played a very good Wofford team. So it's not like that was a terrible loss for them. I just wish they could have kept the streak going. Here's a couple of free plays, guys, that I like. But you can choose how you play this. Let me see if this line moved. All right. So Arkansas is laying 2 points with Kentucky. That line's fairly accurate. I actually think that it should be 2.5, but I think that it's accurate. I'm telling you right now, Kentucky is a more talented team than Arkansas. Kentucky's a faster team than Arkansas. But Kentucky's very one-dimensional, and they're easily figured out. Arkansas has the talent this year to really clamp down, on the corners where Kentucky gets hot, right there inside the perimeter where they just move the ball so well. The strong suits that they have, these little weaknesses that they expose, Arkansas will be able to clamp down on that, just like South Carolina was able to do. Arkansas is good enough defensively to clamp down on that, and they're good enough offensively to to keep it a tight game. The crowd's going to get into this one. This is going to be a big, big game for them. Kentucky coming to town. I think that 2 to 3 points is very accurate, but you can play the money line at minus 130 with Arkansas. I like Arkansas on the money line to win at home outright. I think it's worth laying a little more juice and not having to lay any points. I think that's where the value lies. Another money line play that I like, guys, is Appalachian State. They're only laying a point, so you could do that. But I'm seeing -1 at minus $1.15, which doesn't make a lot of sense. For $1.20, you can just take the money line. And then if they win by 1, you don't have to risk the push. App State's the better team. They're the faster team. They're the better three-point shooting team. And free throw percentage could be the big difference here, and App State is much better from the line. App State minus 120, I love it. Yeah, Dana, that's what I'm saying. It's one of the few years where I think Arkansas could keep up with Kentucky's pace offensively, and the difference would be those little weak spots where they can be exposed. Arkansas is good enough to figure that out. And now, if we were talking about Texas A&M or something like that, then I wouldn't think so. But Arkansas is much improved this year. They're focusing on the strong suits that they have versus trying to play so many different aspects of the ball. And that's why they've been as successful as they have this year. And that's, if they come to play today, I see Kentucky bagging a second straight upset. I love Irie. I think Irie's just got some issues. I just don't know if I believe Irie. You're out there laying -700s and -1200s and -2000s. I mean, you're not making money. You're not. You're not. And you're not going to convince me otherwise. And then to come in here and get advice and then to be told, do not take that money line. That team's going to lose. I did it with Duke the other day. And he still did it. -700. He could have played +550. Hey, Danny, I've been saying it for a month now. Baylor still has yet to impress me. I mean, I think that they've played well, but for people to say, oh, Baylor's playing like the best team in the country, nah, bro. They played like the best team in the country against Kansas. There's a reason that Baylor is not my top team, has not ever been my top team, and I highly doubt they will make it to my top team this year. They're just not the top team. Very talented, but they're just not there. Whether he does or doesn't, if he does, he's fucked financially. Alex, I don't really have a call in that game. I mean, I think the line's accurate. Problem is, Pelicans are on an uptick. Clippers still can't close games out. I mean, they closed out one the other night, but that was like the first one in a while. So that's a complete layoff game for me. I get a weird feeling that Nebraska upsets Indiana tonight. And they shouldn't, because Nebraska sucks. And Indiana's actually a good team. I've got Indiana probably higher rated than most people would. I've got them in my top 20, or my top 25 now. No, top 27. They're 27th. Ohio State drops to Penn State, which that's not surprising. So that's probably going to put Ohio State back a couple of spots and move my Penn State ranking up. But not by a ton, though. It might move them into the top 30. I think Duke solidifies themselves as the number one team tonight. They're still number one in my rankings, but I think that they start giving themselves some separation tonight. I'll get them out of the rankings when the stats don't match up. Right now, they still have top 10 statistics. 11-5 with a 109.9 adjusted offense and 88 defense. An almost zero luck factor. A 7-point differential, a plus 7-point differential. Ohio State's a good team. And Ohio State is built like a tournament-bound team. The problem is, so is Purdue. Penn State is not. Penn State is a team that will win a game like that at home on a Saturday noon game when Ohio State's already planning for what they're going to do in March. Same thing with Kentucky. Like the teams that everybody's given so much credit to that won't make runs in the tournament are teams like Arizona, probably Oregon, Michigan, Villanova, Baylor. Ohio State's a good ball team. No, we can talk some NFL. I'm not going to be here tomorrow. Well, I'm not going to be doing this. I don't think. That's fine. Again, I mean, my rankings don't go off of what their rankings do. My rankings are set up from a investment standpoint. Now, don't get me wrong. I look at the way the team plays, too. But if you look at who they've played this year, the teams that they've beaten, the way that they've beaten them, where they excel, where they, kind of fall off, every team has to make adjustments. Every team has to make adjustments. Just like the point I made a few minutes ago. 2004, North Carolina started out 1-2, lost 4 or 5 straight ACC games at the start of conference play, and won a national championship that same season. We're below 500 in the end of January, won enough to get into the tournament, and were nowhere near a top seed, and ended up winning the national championship. Ohio State's a good ball team. They got a lot of talent. Right now, they're just working through some things. But just because a team wins or loses doesn't overall affect my rankings like it would, the national rankings. That's why, like, going into the year, nobody was giving credit to Maryland. And I had Maryland in my top 10. And they were my number 3 team for a couple of weeks. Nobody was giving credit to Dayton at the beginning of the year. Nobody was giving credit to Florida State. Nobody was giving credit to Purdue. And look at all these teams have done. It'll come around. It'll come around. I can tell you this. By the time the conference tournament starts, conference tournaments, my top 5 rankings will be your number 1 seeds in the tournament. Mark my words. You'll still have a couple of weeks before the tournament starts, but I'll tell you now, going into conference play, I'll say, here's my 1 through 5. There's your number 1 seeds. And watch them come true. I do it every year. What's up, Scott? Yeah, I mean, thing is, if I had to call a champion right now, I'd say Duke. Problem is, here's the problem with Duke. Is Duke the most talented team in college basketball? Probably by a slim margin. I'd say Kansas is not far behind them. Best point guard in the country, I'd say Duke has it. Maybe Cole Anthony, if he stayed healthy, could be that. Problem is, doesn't matter how much talent they have, they're still riddled with freshmen. And when you get into big situations like that, Sweet 16, Elite 8, Final Four, who's to say that young mentality isn't what bites them? So, because they don't have Cameron Indoor to be their safety blanket at that point. You've got a neutral court with a split amount of fans and a team that's proven that they deserve to be there. So, in that case, I would say that I would be more inclined to pick Kansas or Michigan State, somebody like that, maybe even Louisville. But, I mean, if we just want to talk about talent, then I've got to go with who I think the best team in basketball is, and that's Duke. Yeah, I do it every year, Matt. Every year when the start of the tournament start, like right before that, I always come out and give my number 1 seed predictions because that's when it's most inclined to change. Going out there and losing, being right there on the cuffs of a number 1 seed and then having to go through there and playing a, conference tournament and then end up losing, you're the runaway favorite in that conference and you end up getting beat by the last place conference opponent who just barely made the cut of the tournament. And then it takes you out of the number 1 seed. But by then, I have an entire season of conference play to work with. I predicted Virginia's upset before the Elite Eight 2 years ago. I didn't predict it would be, UMBC that did it, but I said that they wouldn't make it to the Elite Eight. I got cussed out for that one because they were the best in the world. I've got a few upset specials on the card today. Well, sort of. We can do some upsets. I'll tell you what. I'll give you an upset. Or what I think will be an upset. Remember, nothing's guaranteed, guys. Last time I looked, Southern Miss was laying 2 at home to Rice. I kind of like Rice +2 on the road. I do. Certainly not a premium play by any means. I tell you this. I think Alabama's a better team than Missouri. I think that they have all the skill sets to win and cover this game. But there's something weird about it. And Missouri, that's a team that's just hard to figure out. So if you just wanted to step out on a limb, take Missouri. I don't love the play statistically, but I'd say it's worth a look. What else we got? text right there. Hold on one second, guys. I'm actually placing a small little $100 wager on Rice. Just to do it. Georgia State. I mean, here's the thing. Georgia State should trounce Troy. I mean, in damn near every single statistical category that even plays a part, they hold the upper hand. Problem is, Georgia State, it don't matter about their win-loss record on the road. If you watch them play on the road, they are less than impressive, in my opinion. Should they win this game? Yes. But I'll tell you this. I watched every play of the Georgia State game the other night. We had them as an underdog. Georgia State played. I mean, they played their absolute heart out. That's why I think the line's as low as it is. I actually came up with this line at -7. That's what it opened at. I know some people might be getting -8. -7 is beyond accurate. There's zero value in this line. Georgia State should win by more. I do think that rest is going to be a factor. I think that they are going to come into this just a little bit lagging, I guess you could say. I think that Troy would love to be able to pull the home upset. On paper, should they be able to? Hell no. But again, this is not a road team that's overly impressive in my eyes. 7's accurate. If you're going to play the game, the only way to play it would be to lay 7 with Georgia State, but there's no value there. There's zero value in that line, as the line, I think, should be 7. If we were talking about 5, 4.5, something like that, then yeah, I would probably be playing Georgia State myself. But the line's accurate. Somebody asked about Duke. God, here's the thing. I've said all week that I think Duke will put on an absolute clinic tonight at home against Louisville. And the thing is, I wouldn't think so much of that had they gone into Clemson mentally prepared and not shot themselves. But they did. And so don't think that Coach K hasn't had that on his mind all week and had his boys paying for that loss all week. When I did the numbers on this game, my numbers were -6.5. I think it came out at 6.5, 6, something like that. 8's a little steep. I have a little bit of money on Duke, but I have it -6.5. Had I not placed the wager last night, and I looked at it this morning at -8, would I still throw a couple $100 on Duke? Yes, because of my gut feeling as to how Duke's going to play after that loss. But are they an 8-point better team than Louisville on just any given day? No. They're about a 6-point favorite at home. They're truthfully a 3-point favorite if you just go off of pure statistics. But Cameron Indoor Stadium is worth 3 points all day long, if not more. So I add 3 points to that. You're 6, 6.5. Well, 6.5 is what I came up with in my system. So because of that, I'll lay 8 with Duke for a couple of $100 just to do it, because I am going to be watching the game. But truth be told, I think the line is a little bit inflated. There's just a lot of money coming in on them. So if you were really wanting to play this game to be serious, I think the best thing you could do is wait. That's what I think. I think it would be best to wait. Yeah, now keep in mind, Steven, San Diego State was not a premium play. It really wasn't even a free play. Rice was a lean. It was a small lean. San Diego State was a very small lean because Danny wanted me to talk about it. The only true plays that I've given out that I have actual money on. I did throw a couple $100 on Rice. But the true plays that I came into this chat planning to give out were App State and Arkansas on the money line. Those are my official free plays so far. The Rice and the San Diego State and Duke, like we just talked about, those are games that were asked about, and I gave my opinion on them. So just keep that in mind. I don't want it to be misconstrued that San Diego State or Rice was like a premium play, and then they don't come through, and I'm having people, look at me like I'm an asshole. Let me print the there's just so many lines changing right now, guys. Let me hit the print button. Danny, you're on duty. Run the chat, because I can't give you guys any more free plays unless I'm going to start just going and looking at each individual game, and that just takes too much time. So I'm just going to hit print and print William Hill's current lines. Now listen, we've got 42 people in here. We need 50 likes. I give you a free premium play off the card. You want a top play? Get me 100 likes. And we have about 30 minutes to do so tops. But I'm going to go print all the updated late lines, and we'll give out some more free plays because I do have more. And I'm not going to tell you which one, but one of those plays that I gave you was a premium play already. So, Danny, you're up. All right. All right. All right, so people wanted to talk NFL. Let's talk NFL. Let's pull up the odds for tomorrow. Because we still need 15 more likes to give out a premium play. All right, right now I'm seeing Green Bay plus 7.5. Tennessee plus 7. Which, Green Bay line, I like. When I did it, I had San Francisco minus 8. The way Tennessee's played the past 2 weeks, truth be told, this line's a little inflated, even with the way Kansas City played from the second quarter on last week. As I've said before, if you want to talk about a football team and the weapons that it has, who's the most dangerous team, who is like the best team, Kansas City's it. If I was forced to, say this is who I think is going to win the Super Bowl right now, I think that because Patrick Mahomes is healthy, it's hard to pick against him. The only thing that makes you think otherwise is because Andy Reid can't coach in the postseason. Here's the thing that everybody's overlooking. They're looking at what the 49ers have done this year. They're looking at the way that the 49ers beat the Packers in Week 12, beat the brakes off of them. But I'm telling you right now, if anybody's overlooking Aaron Rodgers, you're insane. Let's go back and look, let's just go back and look at history here, recent history with top-level quarterbacks that have been in the conversation of greatest of all time. Tom Brady, Peyton Manning. 2015. Yeah, I've got a premium play in that game, Matt, involving the Blues. Well, I'm not saying the play is involved. I have a premium play on that game. But anyway, let's go back. It was 2015, I think it was, either 15, 16, whatever the year it was when the Broncos played the Panthers for the Super Bowl. Let's go back and look at the season. The Broncos most certainly had their struggles throughout the year. Peyton's washed up, Peyton's this, Peyton's that. The Panthers are unbeatable. Ron Rivera's the greatest thing that's ever happened to coaching. Cam Newton is the greatest quarterback ever. He's the second coming of Christ. He can't be beaten. His arm's the best. His legs are the best. Panthers are going to have an unbeaten season. They're going to have a perfect year. Panthers are this, Panthers are that. And they were. Okay? And yes, there were struggles within the Denver lineup. There were struggles with Peyton Manning. There were struggles with coaching. They had to, scrap and fight to get to where they could get their postseason spot and then claw their way to a Super Bowl where, besides that one loss that Carolina took late, well, I think it was to Atlanta. I mean, the Panthers cruised. They were just on cruise control from week 1 to the Super Bowl. So let's think about that for a minute, guys. I am still a Cam Newton supporter. Cam Newton's had an off year. He's had some injuries. His last full year, his last close to full year, he was off per se. He's dealt with a few injuries, like this week or this year. He played 2 games. So now they've already, they've wrote Cam Newton off. He's old. He's washed up. He sucks. He's this. He's that. That's the way that the media makes you perceive everything. Cam Newton is still one of the most athletically blessed quarterbacks I've ever seen. And if he gets 100% healthy, Cam Newton is still, in my eyes, MVP material. So let's think about this for a second. We go into that year. Panthers are a 6-point favorite to win the Super Bowl over Peyton Manning and the Broncos. Peyton's washed up. The Broncos can't handle the speed. Nobody can touch Cam Newton, this, that, and the other. And if anybody remembers that game, it wasn't that it wasn't a talent mismatch that made Denver win. It was ground and pound football, number 1. And it was also just the overwhelming knowledge of what is most certainly one of the top 5 greatest quarterbacks to have ever played the game in Peyton Manning. Truth be told, I'd say he's top 3. And in the end, when it came down to it, who shined? Ground and pound football and one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever play it. They went out there and they embarrassed Carolina. They exploited everything that Carolina did wrong and capitalized on it. Okay, let's fast forward. Tom Brady goes to a Super Bowl and loses to the Eagles. I'd put an asterisk by that right there. Anyway, Tom Brady's done. Tom Brady's washed up. Tom Brady's old. Tom Brady's this. Tom Brady's that. They say Patrick Mahomes is the greatest thing ever. He's the second coming of Christ. He's this. It's Cam Newton talk all over again and then some. And in that same year, who was being talked about the most besides Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs? It was the Rams. It was Jared Goff. It was Todd Gurley. It was Sean McAfee. I mean, this is the team of the future. Your young gunner head coach. Your young quarterback. You're the most stud running back we've ever seen. It's this. It's that. It's this. Tom Brady's washed up. Bill Belichick's old. He doesn't have it anymore. Gostkowski's leg hurts. Gronkowski's already got 1 foot in retirement. Edelman can't do it on his own. Edelman can't, he can't pull in throws from the right hash. He can't do this. And what did they do? They went into the most hostile environment in the NFL against what had been talked about like it was the greatest team ever in the Kansas City Chiefs, and they beat them on both sides of the ball for 4 quarters. And then the second most talked about team, unbeatable, was the Rams. And what do? They go into the Super Bowl, twilight of his career, and on both sides of the ball, they beat him. And it was because of the mind and the overwhelming skill set of the greatest quarterback to ever do it in Tom Brady. We have that exact same thing happening right here, guys. We have Aaron Rodgers, who is undoubtedly one of the best quarterbacks, not only in the game, but to ever play, a top 5 quarterback. And he's got 2 mountains to climb here. One, against what has been the most talked about team besides the Ravens in all of football this year. But this team was starting to be talked about week 1, where it took till week 3 or 4 for people to start really catching on to the Ravens, and that's the 49ers. They're going to have to go on the road to play a team that beat the brakes off of them in week 12, a team that can't be beaten. Garoppolo's, the best. Shanahan is the best coach. Yada, 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 yada. Here we go. Do I think that talent-wise? Yeah, I think San Francisco's better this year. Is Garoppolo better than Aaron Rodgers? Fuck no. Hell no. He's not now, and he's not ever going to be. I don't care what anybody says. Green Bay doesn't have a mountain to climb. San Francisco has a mountain to climb to beat one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever play the game. You have to beat his arm, his mind, and his talent. You have a mountain to climb, boys. And then, if it ends up being the Packers and the Chiefs, and the Chiefs, in my opinion, are a better team than the Niners, they have a hill to climb too, because now you have a quarterback that's being talked about in retirement, just like Tom Brady was, just like Peyton Manning, just like Drew Brees is being talked about now. Let's say he is going to retire this year, which I truthfully think if you bring in Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers, and Tom Brady, who the most likely scenario to retire after this year is Aaron Rodgers. So you're going to take a man that knows that he's finally got another shot at a Super Bowl, and it's the last game that he'll ever play. That's not somebody you want to go up against. So, is Aaron Rodgers playing like the best quarterback in the league? Nope. Has he all season? Nope. They've gone a quiet 14-3. Patrick Mahomes has played like the best quarterback in the league, in my opinion, this year, when healthy. So I give him that. The team that surprised everyone, that's on everybody's, frontal lobe of their brain, is the Tennessee Titans. Everybody's still thinking that San Francisco is the best team out there. The most dangerous aspect in all of this is one man, and his name is Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers has the upper hand to everybody here, and nobody even realizes it. Nobody realizes it. Now, I'm not saying that the line's not accurate. The line is. And San Francisco should win the game, just like Kansas City should win the game. But I'm telling you right now, I won't say that I told you so if Green Bay wins it all. Because I'm telling you right now, if Green Bay wins this game tomorrow, Aaron Rodgers is putting another ring on his finger. Mark my words. So my opinion, the best game on the board tomorrow to watch is Green Bay versus San Fran. I'd lay off of it. And early free play, buy a half point and play Kansas City. I think that they'll be well prepared. Because you got to think, the ground and pound mentality that Mike's going into this game with, he's playing right into Andy Reid's playbook. So don't think that Andy Reid doesn't know how to come up with something for them. I think Kansas City is the best bet. I think the best game is the Green Bay game. I will probably not have money on it. I will be pulling for Green Bay and Aaron Rodgers in that situation, even though I am not a Green Bay fan, but I want him to have another ring. I still think Kansas City's the front runner. But if Aaron Rodgers gets past the 49ers tomorrow, the Green Bay Packers should win the Super Bowl. And again, Scott, don't take that as me saying that the Niners shouldn't win the game by 7. They are a 7-point better team than the Packers. Take every stat you want to into it. They are better this year. But I'm telling you right now, I'm laying off of that game because I'm not going to be the one to say, oh, they've played better. Let me fade one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. That would be the same thing as if last year everybody faded Tom Brady because of how great the Kansas City Chiefs were. Tom Brady went in 2 weeks in a row and gave a big fuck you to everybody, saying, no, don't forget, guys, I'm the greatest to ever do it. Aaron Rodgers could do the same thing. So I like Kansas City tomorrow. Buy a half point. Play 6.5. Roll with it. Don't play the Niners. And let's see what happens. Packers, Chiefs, Packers, Titans, Packers, whoever, Super Bowl. Early prediction, Packers to win it all, if they go. Matt, I agree with you. I do think it's Mahomes' year. But to have it be Mahomes' year, I think Mahomes needs to be playing San Francisco. I'm looking at it from a coaching standpoint just as much as I am a quarterback standpoint. The thing is it Andy Reid's year finally? See, that's where I think everybody is. So we talk about Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry is the best running back that I've seen all year. It's unreal what he can do. The problem is that ground and pound old school football mentality that wins championships. You know, Mike Vrabel, or however you pronounce his last name, he has it. Derrick Henry is it. But who do you think one of the pioneers of that type of football is in modern day? It's Andy Reid. So, yeah, the Patriots didn't have the pieces to beat them this year. Belichick had the knowledge, knew how to do it. He didn't have the pieces. But if you look at the Titans going out there and playing the Ravens, they're playing this new age of football, and it bit them in the ass. Andy Reid plays that type of football. He lets Patrick Mahomes offensively do what he needs to do, but defensively, don't think he won't have a plan for Derrick Henry. Now, Derrick Henry may take that plan and shove it right up their ass because he's that good. But the Kansas City Chiefs will be more well prepared for Derrick Henry than anybody has been in this postseason. Mentally and on the field. Mentally, I think that Bill Belichick would have probably done a better job than Reid. He didn't have the pieces. Even with the best defense in the league, in my opinion, I just don't think that he had any pieces to do it. And the defense had to carry that team all year. They were gassed, man. The defense of Kansas City has not had to carry Kansas City this year. Patrick Mahomes has carried Kansas City. Yes, I am. I'm watching Florida up by 11 to Auburn. You're asking me why were they +1? I couldn't tell you. They shouldn't have been +1. They should have been the favorite. I'm telling you right now, too many of these people are creating these lines based on win-loss records and home and away. I told that to another customer of mine the other day. Do not pay attention and ask yourself, why is it this? Why is it this? If you don't see injuries, if there's no rhyme or reason, sometimes they're just wrong, and we have to capitalize on it. Don't let Auburn get hot from outside. Oh, air ball. There goes your number 4 ranking, you shit ass. Yeah, Auburn my ass. What's up, Carlos? But that's my opinion about the NFL games tomorrow. I'm going to dig as far into them as they can possibly be dug into tonight to see what I'm going to play. But if I had to make the wagers right now, I just told you what they'd be. No play on the Packers game. Buy a half point Kansas City and play Kansas City. But don't take that as those are going to be my plays for tomorrow. That is most certainly subject to change. Another turnover. Bruce Pearl's going to have a freaking stroke turning this game off. I believe that one shall be a winner. I have so many freaking sports channels that, I mean, it takes forever to go through and find everything. Hold on, guys. Hold on. Major League Fishing. We're at 46. Yeah, I like Detroit tonight. I like them on the money line. Yeah, Matt, we got NC State as a premium play, -6.5. I hope y'all bet that game as soon as that line was released, just like I told you to. Well, there's another turnover by the newly found basketball school, Clemson. We're a basketball school now. You're a basketball school and you're 9-8. Jesus, God in heaven. Duke wasn't a lucky win. They beat Duke. But that was Duke's fault. Freshmen that just weren't mentally prepared. The lucky win was North Carolina. They beat Duke. North Carolina beat them damn selves. Up 12 with 1:47 to go, and you didn't foul. Up 3 with 5 seconds or whatever. I mean, North Carolina gave it away. They beat Duke from start to finish. They shouldn't have. If they played Duke again tomorrow at Little John, Duke would win by 90. But anytime you have a freshman-heavy team, it'll happen at least once every year. Every year. I mean, hell, it happened twice to Duke this year. Happened to Kentucky this year. It'll most certainly happen again before the year's over to someone. All right, one more light, guys, and let's get on. A motherfucking premium. And we can do this one of two ways. All right, we're at 50 likes. we can do this one of two ways. We've given out some college basketball already, but we can do a NHL play, or we can do another college basketball play. That's up to you guys. Whatever you guys would prefer. All right, there's 49 people in here. Each one of you should call one friend, tell them to get on YouTube, get on here and hit the like button, get me to 100 likes, and I'll give you one of my top plays. All right, let's do college basketball then. First of all, what time is it? Okay, it's 3:23. I'm actually going to give you two. I'm going to give you an early and a late one. Early one is another money line play that I think the line's off. Air Force laying 1. They should be laying 4.5. Money line's at 115, which I love. I'm going to take Air Force at home to beat Colorado State. That game starts in a half hour, so if you guys want that one, get it now. Okay. 2 5 p.m. games that I think are just a little bit soft, but I like the games. I like Belmont tonight over Morehead State. Belmont has not been the most reliable as far as covering, but I think that that's allowed the odds makers to catch up to that, and that's why I think we're getting the soft line. 16.5 Belmont's laying. My line is 21. So I'm willing to lay. I'm willing to lay some money with Belmont. Murray State minus 10.5 is another one that's a little bit soft. It should be 14. I like Murray State on the road to cover. Jesus Christ. Yeah, Irie's not in here today, Danny. He must have played some money line yesterday that really took him for a ride. I'm just trying to think of what it would have been. Who would have absolutely crushed him on a money line yesterday? Because there really wasn't anything outrageous yesterday. Maybe it was NBA. Let's see. All right, guys. I'm going to have to roll out of here. I am still reviewing, just so everybody knows, everybody that's a customer. I'm still reviewing a few games that happen in later action. I haven't had time to get to them yet. There's already a big card posted. But I am going to go over these in a couple of minutes. And, yeah, that's true. But that wasn't high money line. Or not, like, outrageous. But I'm going to go over these. So there is the possibility that a couple of more premium plays get put out there for today. Not a guarantee. You'll get an email if I put them out. I'll just leave it at that. NBA, I still have to go over. I'm looking at a couple of games. I'll send an email out with those. If you are not on a package, you're crazy. Because not only are there multiple top plays today, there's a slew of premium plays. There's underdog plays. There's everything today. And you can go get 3 days for $50. You can get 7 days for $99. If anybody's interested in the best NHL in the business, I have gone out there and done a little bit of a discount for NHL. Just go check that out, as well as NBA. And I have gone out there and done a discount on the 1 year all access that I'm not even promoting, but you guys can take a look at it. Pretty big savings. But send me an email if you've got any questions. Here in about an hour, I'm going MIA, and I'm going to start working on Sunday's card. So after about an hour, it'll probably be late tonight or tomorrow before you What's up, Roy? I have a feeling you're on the Blues right now. No, I'm watching the NC State game. Not watching any hockey right now. Tommy, we've given out a good bit, man, but I'm calling it a day. So, but feel free. It will be there that you can go back and watch. There's free plays, free leans, everything. Chase. You're having a tough time. Your boys. Oh, yeah, I know what you mean by that. Yep, it is what it is. It happens. They wouldn't go to the NIT even if they did, Roland. I don't think they'd pay the money. Oh, I do have a play in the game, but I'm not watching. I have no idea what's going on, and I don't want to hear it. I don't want to know. I'm watching this game. I'm probably not going to watch the Blues game. I'm going to go back and watch it because I'm going to watch some hockey tonight. No problem, Scott. But anyway, jump on a package. If you have any questions, shoot me an email. Like I said, I'll be around for about an hour working before I call it a day and see if I can fill this last lifetime spot. Anyway, I'm going to leave you with a little nugget. Keith, I'll watch it from time to time. I don't really follow it. I'm going to leave you guys with a little nugget. Do what you will with it. The Nashville Predators are laying $1.85 to the Buffalo Sabres tonight. I think the wrong team is favored. Go Buffalo. See you, dudes.